Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Comfy Org stream. I'm here with Julien, and I'm Purz as usual. What's up, everybody? What's up, Julien?
What's up, Purz?
Oh, today, we're gonna play with. We say this wrong. Hermes Agent.
Hermes.
Hermes. Hermes. Um, however you like to say it. Basically, Hermes Agent is. It's a very well, first of all, it's an agentic harness for LLMs. But unlike Codex and Claude Code, it basically lets you bring whatever model you want to the party. They have a subscription that we'll be using today. I believe it's $20 a month, and it gives you access to Quen 3.6 Plus Unlimited. And then it gives you API access to a bunch of other models as well. But with Hermes Agent, you can roll your own LLMs running Ulama, or I believe it's actually LM Studio locally. That has an integration. And then there's another maybe 40 or 50 integrations with model providers. So many different ways to access LLMs through this agent. And also, it's a lot like open code where you can, give it its own guts and then it's sort of a harness around those guts. The reason we're playing with it today is that they released a ComfyUI skill. And the ComfyUI skill supercharges the Hermes agent to be able to interface with ComfyUI. So it allows you to work with Comfy CLI to spin up, manage, and delete Comfy instances. It'll install custom nodes for you. It'll try to hunt down dependency issues and sort that out. And it'll do all kinds of other stuff. But today I'm gonna hook it up. But I'm also, pardon me, I'm still getting over a cold, everybody. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to run it with 3.6 plus on the Noose server. Again, you can run that. You can run the quantization of that model locally on like a 24 or 32 gig GPU. And also watch the comments today because I bet a lot of people will be telling us what works for them and what their setups are. I haven't done enough testing with local agents, local LLMs, to have an opinion on what the best one is for your specific use. But today I'm going to use the external one because I'm going to be running Comfy both locally and on the cloud. And if you're running a local LLM and local Comfy, they're going to fight for memory. So if you want to use an agentic system, either you can always have an LM Studio secondary machine on your network with a GPU in it that's running LLMs. Maybe you have an older GPU and you just want to have like local LLMs. That's a cool way to become a Linux hacker and start figuring out how all that stuff works. And if you don't have that, you can always just use APIs and subscriptions. So this is like Claude Code. You can also do this with Claude Code. We have another stream on that as well. But today we're going to use Hermes by Noose Research. I also made a Hermes agent ComfyUI helper supercharger skill that sort of makes their skill a little more useful. Yeah, a little more skilled at running Comfy. I'll drop the link to that in the chat, but I will also put this in the description of the video tonight. So you can go in and grab that. And so basically, if you inject this skill, it will do a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to slide over to the display so we can see what I'm talking about. Oh, now I'm full screen because I need to share my screen. It's been a while, friends. Forgive me. Oh, well, let me share a Chrome tab. That's fun. Okay, there. Let's share this. Let's just share this entire screen. That makes more sense. There we go. Okay. I may have to move this up a bit. There we go. Now we're in. I'm going to get out of this and restart it so it looks better. Okay. On my right, I have Hermes running. I can help you get it going. It's not that hard. It's very easy to get going on a Mac. Less easy to get going on Windows, but still not that bad. The only thing is that it requires WSL. So you have to basically do the WSL thing on your computer. It's not hard. WSL is very easy to set up. You can Google it. Claude can do it. I would say Hermes can do it, but not until it's installed. Basically, you just run WSL. It'll go, hey, you don't have any Linux installations on your Windows machine. And you would just install Ubuntu with WSL. Once that's done, then you can just go to the, if you go to the Hermes Agent site, GitHub, there's actually like installation commands and everything here. Just make that a lot bigger. So yeah, you basically just go ahead and follow these commands. This will explain to you how to set up WSL, et cetera, et cetera. It's not that bad. You'll be fine. If you have a Mac, you can just install it. If you're already running Linux, you can just install it. In fact, if you're on an Android phone, you can just install it. Yeah, the cool thing about the agent, sorry, beyond the other ones, is this one, while it's a harness and it has a text user interface, a TUI or a TUI, you might hear us say TUI. That's what this thing is here on the right, this text interface. Actually, let me remove the little Comfy logo as well from the screen. So there we go. You can see stuff. Okay. As you can see here, we're running it. It says AI Agent Framework, Qwen 3.6 Plus. We've got our tools, and it says, welcome to the agent. Type your message or /help. When you set this up, you would just go...
Oh, we lost your audio there, Purz. I think.
Oh, I must have hit the M key on the wrong screen. So over here, you would go /model, and it'll let you pick your model. You can pick between the new portal, OpenRouter, and Anthropic. There's a bunch of other ones as well. OpenRouter is a site that lets you, it essentially aggregates a bunch of different API endpoints into the same place so that you can access them all in the same place with the same account. It's a great way to try out different LLMs to see which ones are smart and which ones are dumb. Yeah, I like it a lot. But yeah, so basically, new research, their subscription will give you, like I said, unlimited Qwen 3.6 Plus, which is enough to sort of get the harness going and everything. You want a smarter model, you have to pay by the token. Most of you are used to that. So yeah, just to say it, there is no free compute on the planet. Doing this stuff costs compute, whether you want to have a local GPU or whether you want to pay for it via service. You have to pay for that electricity some way. So here we are. But yeah, the cool part is if you're not great at Comfy, if the nodes scare you, if there's a bunch of stuff you want to do but you don't know how to do it, this is the kind of the agentic layer to get you into it, to get you going. And the nice part about it is you never have to look at Comfy if you don't want to. You never have to look at the nodes. You don't have to look at any of that stuff. It all runs essentially headless because at the end of the day, Comfy is just a server that's doing things. And the other nice thing is it's interchangeable between local and cloud. So any workflow that runs locally should run on the cloud, assuming the custom nodes aren't crazy. And yeah, so let's talk about this little helper skill that I made. So the current Comfy new skill, when you go and install it, well, it actually comes with Hermes Agent, so, YOLO. It, depending on the LLM you're giving it, the smarter the LLM that is running that is controlling your harness, or the harness is controlling rather, the better chance you're going to have that the workflows just work out of the box. Qwen 3.6 it's not as robust as your Claudes and your Codexes and your OpenAI and all that fun stuff. It is a very functional and smart model, but it is not on the level of those high-end models. So what ends up happening with the skill is it will see something and then it'll start hallucinating node connections, start hallucinating node names, things like that. When it goes to run the workflow, it just throws errors. Then it'll get caught in this sort of loop of, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, this is wrong. Let's try this. This is wrong. Let's try this. What I found the solution to that problem is this little skill that I made called ComfyUI template integrity. So the way this works is It's a set of rules for safely converting templates from editor format to API format. The rules prevent the most common failure modes when building workflows from the official template package. It uses the source of truth of our ComfyUI templates repo as like that's the gospel. And then everything we want to do is just a combination of those workflows. This way, you know the workflows are going to work from the gate. Then the mashing them together is where your instincts and gut is going to come into play. Where you'll read the error message and go, oh yeah, I realize what you're trying to do, and that's not right. So the interesting thing about this is like this is one of those things that would really help beginners if beginners knew everything already. But what it ends up actually doing is helping intermediate and advanced users who already know how to use Comfy and can already recognize these issues and can sort of walk through it. So would I recommend this as your first gateway into Comfy? Not yet. We are still very early days, friends. This is sort of like just unleashing a bunch of monkeys with machine guns and just seeing what happens, which is cool. But do not expect this to work like like you've just hired a design partner and they already know Comfy and they're ready to go. It's really more like we're all in this figuring it out together kind of situation. So yeah, get your client running, and then all you would do is go /ComfyUI, and you can see all this other stuff here. So we just go down to ComfyUI, run that. So the user has invoked the ComfyUI skill, indicating they want you to follow its instructions. It's going to load all the skills, initialize the agent. The other thing I want to do is load my ComfyUI agent helper script, which is ComfyUI template integrity. So if I run that, now I'm loading my skill into there. To do that, you just copy it into your skills folder or just show the skill to the agent and tell it to add it. All right, so we have ComfyUI and template integrity skills. Now, the other cool thing that Hermes does is it can manage your ComfyUI installation. I've already pre-installed Comfy, so I haven't had it manage my specific installation, but it has full control of Comfy CLI, which is a command line tool for installing and manipulating Comfy installations. So it's very good at just kind of handling all that stuff. You want to pull a PR to try some new stuff. Like it can do all that. So it's a great way to sort of not deal with installing Comfy, which is nice because it's in WSL, you have to run it in Linux, which means if you don't know Linux commands and you don't know what you're doing, that can be even worse than just running like a simple version of Comfy on your Windows machine. So yeah, those would be the big gotchas. Just the fact that it runs on Linux, the fact that it, it can manipulate your version of Comfy, but I've already got one installed. So I'm just going to run WSL. And what that's going to do is bring up a terminal window that's just like, this is the Ubuntu, the Linux machine that is running on my Windows machine. So I'm going to go cd tilde, which brings me to my home folder. I'm going to go into the Comfy folder. And I am going to mount my virtual environment. Well, first of all, I'm going to git pull Comfy. That's going to grab the latest version of Comfy. Then I'm going to mount my virtual environment. This is the nice thing about the agent. You don't have to deal with this stuff if you don't want to. I'm just very comfortable with it. So now I'm going to pip install -r requirements.txt, which will update all of our Python packages. That'll keep everything going. In Windows, this is the same as running the update ComfyUI batch file in the update folder in the portable install. What I just did here is the exact process that happens on the Windows thing. So now Comfy's completely up to date. We're in our mounted virtual environment. So I'm just going to load Comfy by typing python main.py. It's going to load up Comfy, and then once Comfy's running, it'll be running on port 8188, just because like it does. So Comfy's now running on my machine. That's all great, and I'm just going to let's make that there. Bring this over here. We can also make this nice and big too. Okay, so Comfy's running. All right. Let's ask, do you see Comfy running on my computer? So it's going to start thinking, it's preparing the terminal, It's checking. Do I see anything at 127.0.0.1.81.88? Yes, Comfy is running locally on port 8188. Amazing. Make me a picture of a tree with Z Image Turbo. 1024 by 1024. Make sure it's very beautiful. So let's see what it does. It's loading the Creative ComfyUI skill. It's prepping terminal. So while this is running, I'm going to talk about a lot of the walls that I hit. So hopefully if you hit them, you will be able to
Get up and run.
get over them. Yeah. First of all, it does not know how to make a workflow. It cannot figure it out. Having it just work right off the straight up skill, you will be a sad, sad person. That might change as the skill gets better. But right now, what it does is it will go and then think it knows how to make a workflow, and it'll try to make a workflow and it won't work. And then when the workflow doesn't work, it'll try to figure out why the workflow doesn't work. And every solution that it comes up with is worse than that first workflow. Because what it never actually does is check the templates repo for the source of truth of how to actually do this stuff. And then it, the other issue that I ran into was a lot of these workflows now, they, what's the word? They work with a bunch of different, okay, the LTX 2.3, let's take the LTX 2.3 text to video workflow, for example. So that runs, but once this agent hits the word Quen, because there's a Quen text encoder in the mix, it goes, oh, wait, no, this is a Quen image workflow. I'm going to rebuild this as a Quen image workflow. And then once that happens, you're done. The other thing it loves to do is the LTX 2.3 workflow has a distilled LoRa. It has an upscaling pass. It has a bunch of other stuff. Without it, you get very bad videos. Out of the box, this thing will go, oh, hey, this workflow is 48 nodes. I think I can make it 12. Great. When it does that, the video that comes out is awful. Don't let it. You can use my template integrity skill, or you can write your own. But the point is, these things don't know how to make workflows. They think they do, but they don't. And that's okay. You can teach them. Is there a Comfy MCB coming? Dun, da, 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 yes. If you want to get on the alpha, hit me up. We can try and get you into the alpha. Comfy MCP is coming. We're working on it. It is in very, very, very early stages, and it needs a lot of love, but it will eventually be probably the best way to interact with Comfy. But right now it's not, but it will be. It's a hard thing to build. An MCP is an MCP that does simple things is easy to build. An MCP that does everything for everyone is very hard to build.
Yeah.
Especially when this stuff is so crazy. How can I DM you? Oh, actually, no, don't DM me. Just leave a message under the chat that you wanna play with the Comfy MCP on the X or on YouTube or whatever, and we'll go through it and try and get in touch with you. You can also try to DM me on X, but I think I have DMs from strangers off just because it's a lot. All right. Okay, generated successfully. Output saved to this folder. All right, let's have a look. So when you're on Windows and you have a WSL system running on your machine as well, it's actually kind of confusing to get to the file system of the Linux machine, because the file system of that Linux machine is encrypted in such a way that Windows can't read it. So WSL itself is serving up that folder structure as a network device on your computer. So if you hit start run on your Windows machine, you get this lovely little box here, and I'm going to type it into the chat. You will type this horrible sequence of words, dash dash, or backslash rather, WSL, $. And that will show you the Ubuntu server running on your machine. If you go in there, you're going to see all the folders. Sorry, I can't make this bigger.
It looks decent from here, Purz.
Yeah. So you're going to go into your home folder, and mine's Purz. Now I'm in my my pardon me. Now I'm in my Ubuntu server. I'm in the space in which I'm working here, and I see I've got my Hermes folder. I've got my Comfy folder, Comfy outputs. Right now I'm going into my Comfy folder, and I'm going to go into my output folder and have a look in here. Make this nice and big, and there should be, if I sort by date, a beautiful image of a tree.
Look at that. Magical.
It's pretty good, but it looks kind of weird. You see that?
Mm.
See how it's kind of not great up close?
From here,
That's interesting.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It looks like a style.
Yeah. So let's ask it. Did you use the ComfyUI, the Comfy templates repo as a source of truth for this workflow? Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's do something else first. Can you export this workflow you just used? Actually, we don't even need to do that. I just realized. Yeah, we can do it even easier. I'm going to load up Comfy on my machine, right? And I'm going to drag in the workflow from the image I just made.
Yep, this way we can see.
So we can see what it did. And then we can see if it made any mistakes. We can compare it. Because even if you ask it to compare it, it might not know. So go to my output folder, pull in my Z image turbo, and there's the workflow that it made. So let's have a look at this workflow. It's using Z image turbo BF16. That's correct. It's using the right stuff. Bingo bango. 1024, 1024. That's correct. This shift 173. Yep. And steps 8, CFG1, res multi-step. Okay, it nailed it. So I was just being overly picky. And then there's the prompt it used. A majestic ancient tree with luminous golden leaves. Its massive trunk covered in glowing moss and vines. Yeah, right on. You'll notice also this workflow is human readable. Right out of the gate. That's pretty cool. Very cool. Okay. Now let's try something a little more complicated. That's something I had a lot of fun with last night. So if we just keep our Comfy log up here, we can watch it start to kick once it starts kicking. Apologies if you can't read the agent stuff. I'll try and make it a little bigger.
It's okay from here. Yeah, please. I can see it.
All right. Let's make let's make 4 videos of 4 different trees in 4 different biomes. Then with LTX 2.3, text to video locally, 1280 by 720. Then stitch those 4 videos together with FFmpeg, 1 second crossfade between. And now while I take a drink of coffee and take a break, why don't you tell everyone how hard this would be to do manually? Julien.
He's like, what? I'm looking behind me. Huh? I mean,
so how hard would it be to make this workflow? I want to make 4 videos. Then
no, I was going to say, I was already like going like, I would create 4 videos and then go outside of our Comfy and make like in Premiere or whatever, like you edit this thing together. But like to do it in Comfy, yeah, it would be more involved unless you know what you're doing.
Plus, you have to copy and paste the text to video thing 4 times.
Or
run it 4 times, write 4 different prompts. And then, then grab all the videos, drag them into Resolve or Premiere or whatever, load them all up on the timeline, just set up the crossfades and the transitions, and then render it. But with this, I just asked for it, and it's going to spit out the 4 videos, and then it's going to stitch them together with FFmpeg.
After the fact, yeah, that makes sense.
And we don't even have to do any of that in Comfy. In Comfy, I would have to, if I wanted to do this in one shot in Comfy, I would need to copy and paste 4 of these workflows into the same workflow, the text to video workflows, set all my prompts, and then do an elaborate batch stitching thing to get all my stuff together. And even if I did that, getting the transitions between them, like the nodes to do that would be, I don't even want to think about it. That's the beauty of agentic control of the software, is that it goes beyond just figuring out how to do X and Y. It's about taking X and Y and Z and mixing it with 1, 2, and 3 in whatever way you want, and then using tool calls on your computer to do some of the stuff that's really difficult to do, like video editing and trimming and anything that involves, a lot of human input, or just stuff that's tough to do in Comfy in general. Not that it's impossible, it's just more fun to do it this way. So let's talk about what it's doing here. So it's parsing the LTX 2.3 text to video template, and it's extracting the node structure. And it's going to write the Python script to generate all 4 workflows, convert from template to API format, and then submit them sequentially. If you were running these on the cloud, you could actually run those 4 jobs at the same time, because if you're a pro account on the cloud, I believe you get 5 concurrent jobs. So yeah. Oh, it's doing all kinds of stuff now. Ancient oak tree, majestic lone pine, massive old growth redwood, giant baobab tree. Bring it. I saw this thing just started complaining. Okay. Failed to validate prompt for output 300, LTX empty, batch size is broken, pre-process image compression is broken, VAE decode tiled is broken. Okay, let's see what it does. I need to be more careful about wielding the workflow correctly.
Yes, you do.
Let me look at the template conversion reference first, and also check what exact nodes, types, and schemas the local server has. So the other thing about agents is they love to think they're right and just hallucinate stuff. Then they go back and check the skill, and they go, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. That's par for the course. Don't get frustrated. It just happens. It's part of it. So this might fail a few more times, but because I know what I'm doing in Comfy, it's easy to fix. This is where the skill gap makes it very annoying to try to use these tools if you don't already know how to use the software, because you still have to chase the errors down. You still have to figure out what they mean. You still have to do that. And if you don't have the intuition and the knowledge from doing this stuff, well, like you're just
going nowhere.
Not only are you blind, but the agent's blind. You're both blind, and you're trying to help each other. It's not great.
The blind leading the blind, as they say.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm expecting it to fail, and I'll be happy if it works. And if you actually take that approach with a lot of this stuff, you'll have a much more chill time doing it. Running commands and expecting them to work is a really good way to get burned out really quickly, because, I mean, even humans don't nail it the first time every time. Let's give the robots a little leeway, shall we? I don't know what it's doing.
Oh yeah. It
says preparing terminal. Oh, there we go. It's asking for stuff. Yeah, it's still screwed up. So one thing I will say, you might be used to interrupting Claude or Codex by typing stuff while it's working. When you do that with Noose or Quen 3.6, there's only so many sort of connections you get. So you will hit these things where it's like, oh, I can't talk to the API anymore. It's because you were just sending commands too quickly. It'll sort of have a rate limit thing, and it'll back off. But the nice thing about the agent is it will it'll just leave off where it was. It's not a bad thing. All right, so it thinks it knows all the exact field names now. It's going to try and rebuild. This is one of those streams where it's just us looking at terminal windows for an hour. So, hope you like it. But yeah, the main takeaway I've found so far is that this doesn't save me any time yet, but all the building blocks for a system that could save me a lot of time are in place. All that being said, I have had much better success with Claude Code. Claude Code with just my vanilla Comfy skill. But I think that is just due to the model. The like Anthropic models are just, they're bigger, they're more expensive, they have more context, they have more reasoning abilities. Oh, I see things happening. Things are happening. Okay, I see got prompt. That got prompt means things are working.
Yeah, it's loading the model now. Looks like.
Oh. Okay, what's the matter now? Nested tensor object has no attribute clone. All right, let's just let it go. It doesn't say that. Don't lie to me now. Now you're gonna watch me get tilted, friends. Yeah, so it's not running. We got 4 errors. Yeah, okay. All right, we're cooking. It's all them. I don't even have to interrupt it. Nice. Yeah.
You were
Every
about
now
to
and then
pull
it
it
gets
out.
confused. You got to talk to it, but it just realized everything's broken. So
It's like, never mind, I lied.
yeah, there's a lot of that too.
So let's see in the chat, like, where this is computing. Who is being nice to their LLM and who is being mean to their LLM?
Yeah, quick show of hands. Who says please
Yeah.
and thank you, and who
Yeah, exactly.
threatens to
Please,
murder
thank
virtual
you.
hamsters?
Please, thank you. I watched Terminator 2 and I respect it. Or screw that, YOLO, and you go crazy on it. I'm in the second camp personally. YouTubers, I think, right?
This is a great point. Extraordinary 99 says designing public repos of workflows may be more important to be agent friendly than human friendly.
Mm-hmm.
This is very, very succinct thought because I've talked about this a few times on these streams, but I saw a chat with the VP of product from Microsoft who does a lot of their AI stuff. I think he's actually the VP of AI there. He gave a talk at Upscale Conference last year,
yeah.
year before.
It was awesome.
Where he talked about how UX is dead and the new frontier is AX, agentic experience, not user experience. The users will use the agents will use the software. So making your software as agent friendly as possible is the best way to be future proof right now. So if you're building stuff like we are, or you're doing things like we're thinking about this a lot, building the ability for the agents to parse this data in a way that's useful for them is very, very helpful for users because then they don't have to. Let me investigate this error. LTXV crop guides is a ComfyUI core node. Let me check the PyTorch version and the node source. Yeah, go nuts.
You do you, boo.
Yeah, you do you, boo. We'll see if it can cook. For the record, I got this to work with no problems at all last night, like 7 times. So
I didn't want to jinx it first, but yeah.
But that's okay. I was not hoping we'd hit a wall, but I was kind of expecting to hit something like this, just to, and it's just a clear, honest sort of look at the current state of things. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this thing is like ready to go for production and like you should use this instead of Comfy. We're not quite at that point yet. But we are at the point where this is a very fun experimental tool that you can use to potentially make workflows that are much more complex than the ones you're currently making. Or if you have an idea that you're trying to chase, this might help you sort of figure out the building blocks to get you there. So like as a learning tool, as a workflow integration tool, a thing that runs Comfy, it's very helpful. But all that being said, we've been here for what? 33 minutes.
Yeah.
I could have made this video 7 times over by now if I was just making it. So there's that aspect to it too. You gotta think about your time.
I feel like this sometimes using these tools is kind of like experimental, and you learn how to be better using these tools, right? Because it's just a new way of doing things, like you were saying.
Yeah. It's and it's where things are headed right now, at least. Burying your head in the sand and not embracing these tools it feels like a death sentence right now. That might all turn around at some point, but right now, there's a lot of creatives, a lot of artists out there that feel like the best move is not to play. While that does work in some cases, in this case, I feel a little bit like you may be cutting your nose off to spite your face. At least in the way everything's moving. It's just my personal opinion, but Oh, interesting. This is a PyTorch 2.11 compatibility issue. I don't think that's true because this ran a bunch of times last night. But let's just let it go. Yeah. Agent access is important alongside UI. Agent chat is not a UX replacement. That's very much, that's a very good way of putting it. This is, yeah. Oh, and Raji said, if we have the workflow file, can we just give it to chat? Yes, absolutely. You can just drop the JSON right in the chat and say, hey, make this workflow work. And it might work this well. It might not. I don't think we're going to get there by doing whatever it's doing here, so I'm going to interrupt. I think you're going down the wrong rabbit hole. Compare the workflow to the one from the template repo and ensure you didn't hallucinate anything. One good thing to do is always to call it out, have it go back to the template and just be like, hey, look at this with a, you know, with a closer eye and see what you did wrong. Because then generally, hopefully it'll be like, oh yeah, I used this node, but I should use this node. Things like that. Zanilli says, I have a feeling if I got this to work with some of my workflows, it would take 3 times as long as it fails over and over again. The funny thing is, once you get it to work with your workflow, it works great and it just keeps going and you can cook a bunch of stuff with it. There we go. Now I have the complete link table. Let me write a proper conversion script that derives everything from the template data without guessing. Exactly.
Yeah.
The hardest thing for these things is just stop guessing.
Just follow what is established.
The stuff is there. It just needs to like you look at it. That is the most frustrating thing I've come across with this. In some things like code, and you know, anything that doesn't require this exact specific syntax, this kind of stuff will work. Vibing it will work because as long as the things are the same name on both sides, it's fine. But when it's only got control of the one side and everything has to be right for the other side, that's when you run into problems because it's just hallucinating all these connections. And then on this side, it's going, what? So we can share, are there good workflow collections like Awesome NNN? Yes, actually, if you go to comfy.org/workflows, you can go to the Comfy Hub.
Comfy Hub, yeah. I was going to say that's the...
both Julien and I have workflows on Comfy Hub. You can go use our workflows and go have fun. You can use them on the cloud. You can use them locally. You can do whatever you want. There's partner nodes integrations. There's regular node integrations. You can do it locally. You can do it on your GPU. You can do it on the cloud GPU, whatever you like. And then you can explore all the workflows there. And it is a safe place to go to get workflows. One of the biggest issues we have with workflows in ComfyUI is that anyone can just put any custom nodes they want. Those custom nodes can go on to GitHub, and those custom nodes can contain malware. So if you don't trust the people that have made the custom nodes, if the author has no stars and this is their first repo, things like that, you as a human person can see that and go, no, I'm good. I'm not installing that. Agents don't care. Agents will just install anything that they're asked to install. So, you know, not to be a big freaky guy, but security is important. Knowing what you're running is important. That's one of the biggest issues with OpenClaw. One of the biggest issues with agentic work in general is that poisoned repos are a thing. Yeah, the agent might not necessarily have the intuition, the gut, whatever you call it, the spidey sense to run away.
So he's still looking for it still?
You're absolutely right. I got distracted by the nested tensor error and went down a rabbit hole with resolution math. Let me take a completely different approach. Instead of building the workflow by hand, let me write a converter that reads to the template file and converts exactly what's in it to API format without guessing. Okay. Oh, we got a model hit max output tokens. Oh, fun. Let's let it cook. Have I done this with OpenClaw? No, I don't run OpenClaw. I think it's cool. I think it's great. I think if you understand security and all that stuff, you should run OpenClaw. I think if you're just a random dude who's trying this stuff for the first time, OpenClaw is a really good way to have all of your information stolen.
Okay,
right, so now it's giving us a retro. What does it say here? Here's exactly what happened. Node 2.1.12, the crop guides, it failed with nested tensor object has no attribute clone. The latent it received had type audio instead of video data. The root cause, I was feeding node information into the wrong node. When the 2-pass pipeline concatenates and separates the audio and video latent through this node, the audio latent gets corrupted at 1028 by 720 resolution because it's audio. And it can't resize audio to 1024 by 720. That actually makes sense. That actually makes sense. So fix, strip the audio path entirely. Use create videos optional audio input without chaining audio through the 2-pass latent pipeline. That is not the solution, man.
Let's see what happens though if it's doing something.
What it's going to do is it's going to make a video with no audio, or the audio is going to fail when it hits because there's nothing in the object. And we know this because we've done this a million times. But if you're just Joe user who's trying this for the first time, all this is nonsense. You probably don't even want to read this crap. This template uses reroute nodes. These need to be bypassed. Found it. The template has comfy math nodes converting the primitives to... It also has hard-coded widget values. Yeah. There's a nested tensor issue with how the template feeds the latent through. Let me check the latent convergent reference. Then submit with correct structure. Okay. Oh! I heard my GPU whir up. Things are happening, friends. I see a progress bar. Will it be an audio-less video? Yeah, probably.
It's going, though.
It is going. We got that going for us.
Maybe you're going to hear some tree music. Or I'm very curious, actually, how it's going to sound or not sound.
It's just me screaming. It's just the sound of me screaming at the agent. Okay, it's done the first pass. Now it's doing the upscaling pass. Gotta love LTX.
That's great.
What is it doing? It's still doing stuff. All right. Try running codecs in the Comfy directory as the backend. Quen 3.6 is good for local coding, but doesn't have understanding deep enough to provide what the user wants. Yes, that is what the ComfyUI skill is supposed to overcome. But yeah. Yeah, obviously you can run Claude, you can run codecs, all that stuff. We've already done streams on that. Today we're doing Hermes because it is the more affordable option for most people. Quite unfortunately, Claude Code, to get, good use out of it, it's like $100 a month.
Yeah, $100 a month. I agree.
The $20 a month plan feels like
it's for the chat, really.
Drug dealer giving you a taste. Yeah, it's for when you need chat and actually, you know what? I think they even disabled Claude Code on the $20 a month.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, because it eats through the tokens very fast. Good catch. It's congratulating itself.
Okay. Let's see
all 4 jobs validated and are in the queue. That's progress. Oh, is it? All right, let's look at the folder and see what it made. Oh, nothing so far. I think we're VAE decoding it right now. Oh, it's still working on the $20 plan, Alexi says. Nice.
So it does work, okay.
Oh, I see a video. What is it? Oh, it has audio too. Wow, that's a video. What was the prompt? I was getting much better videos last night. Oh, you know what? We can check.
You can. Let's drag that workflow. See what happens. Okay.
I'm sensing a trend with the way these workflows.
Yeah, it's like very much always this. I don't hate it though, personally.
No, it's definitely at least readable. Okay. Sorry, pardon me. 97 frames. Oh, clip texting good. PC game, console game, video game, cartoon, childish, ugly? No, this must be the negative prompt. Yeah, it is. Positive prompt is below.
Oh, here
here
it
we
is.
Ancient oak tree in a fantasy forest, massive trunk covered in bioluminescent blue mushroom growth. Ethereal light rays pierce through a towering canopy of emerald and golden leaves. Magical particles float in a soft dawn mist. Twisted roots. Okay, cool. It did do it. It's just not a great video, but that's okay. Let's check the res. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What is this? I guess that's the res.
Here.
Yeah, down here. 1280 by 720. Really? Where's this coming from? Oh, the empty image.
And the latent 512.
So we're using an image to determine the size of the latent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, resize images by longer edge 1536. Interesting. Coo. All right, all 4 jobs validated. Let's see if they're running. Yeah, second job's running. Sonnet can code. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Sonnet is more affordable. There's so many models. There's so much to keep track of. It's crazy. The good news is by the end of the stream, we should have made 1 video.
That's yeah. Stream complete when you have 4 trees.
That's not the takeaway, though. The takeaway is that we're using an AI agent to run software, and it's actually working. Like, I mean, what? All right, second one is done.
Let's look. See it? That's pretty. Oh, does it have sound? I don't hear.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I just I can't share the tab for whatever
Don't worry
reason.
about it. But it has sounds. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of pretty, man. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did a really good job. I like the northern lights, actually. They look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be that bright during the day, but, you know, I'm not a scientist. But I'm not a weatherman. All right, we're doing video number 3.
Have you ever seen Northern Lights, Purz? Here?
I have not.
Me neither.
I have not. Even though I'm a Canadian boy.
That's why I asked, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to be pretty far north usually to see them. Even further than I usually go. And this close to the city, there's just too much light pollution. I would love to see them, though.
Yeah, it looks like some people in the chat have not seen them either. I like how the chat's participating in the small talk. It's awesome. Hey, that's what we do. You know, we have like robots doing the work for us, so now we can talk and
so we can hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What did you have for lunch, chat? You know, and then we wait, and then we have videos of trees.
So next week, I think we're going to do probably some of the new LTX 2.3 IC LoRa's that are out.
Mm-hmm.
I know we go back to that a lot, but they're so
powerful,
cool.
though.
Yeah, they're so cool. Unless something else crazy comes out. Maybe we'll just run through all the new stuff that came out and do a quick test on everything. That might be fun. Hydream 01's coming out today, and in Comfy. It's already been out, but it's getting its full Comfy support today, if not already. What else? Oh, yeah, we got a Claude LLM node coming in. You want to use Claude in Comfy? You can after today. What else is cooking today? I forget. Too much stuff.
Too much, yeah.
We got too many things going on.
Okay.
Bio numero
That's
trois.
last one done, yeah. Let's see what now it's gonna stitch them together, right?
How was my pronunciation? Numero 3.
Sounds decent. I've heard better from you.
Still
Numéro
waiting on
3.
the third one. There it is.
Oh, that was the third one. Yeah,
one
okay.
kilobyte. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
There it is. It just wasn't done writing.
I like that too. I mean, the tree in the middle is... It looks like General Sherman, by the way, for those who has been to Sequoia Park. The sun lighting is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The depth, like, yeah. I like
That's
the
cool
different...
occlusion.
Yeah, the depth is good.
Who doesn't love trees? The real magic will be when it stitches these videos
Yep.
together at the end.
Do you think it's gonna work well, straight up? What is your...
I don't know, man. Last night I would have said yes. Today I'm not so sure. But the cool thing is to do this on cloud, it's the same process. You just ask to do it on cloud.
And it just works, obviously.
Yeah, and then it'll be it'll ask you to input your cloud API key, which if you don't know how to get that, that's just at platform.comfy.org. You just go there, grab an API key, give it to the agent. The agent will store it in a safe place on your computer, and it will not send it in any way over plain text. So, yeah, it should be safe to use, and no one should find it. One really good thing to remember with API keys in general is at some point you might decide, oh, I want to put all the stuff I just made on a repository and put it on GitHub for everybody. That's awesome. Your API key that made that stuff may be stored in that folder somewhere because these softwares use local API keys in either your environment or in what's known as an environment file, .env file. If you commit that file to GitHub, there are bots that scrape every new repo, every new change, every new commit. They're looking for API keys. When they find the API key, they use everything they possibly can on that API key. So don't commit your API keys. That is rule number one with this stuff. What you can do is in Git, you want to make a git ignore file. You can do this when you build your repo. In that git ignore file, you add your .env file. That way, anything you store in that .env file is going to be safe. It won't be committed to the repo. No one will ever see it but you. So that's how you maintain secrets. And then also, there's also the deployment secrets, like with Cloudflare. You can set those secrets into the environment of the actual deployment so that no one sees it, except the software that needs it.
Let's see now.
Video 4 is done. Bum-ba-da-da. All videos are done. Now stitching with crossfades. Sure you are, bud.
FF probe looks like it's going well. Returns. Oh, yep.
Model returned empty after tool calls. Nudging to continue. Nudge it. All 4 videos are 4 seconds each. Now stitching.
Did it do it?
It's going.
Okay. Oh, it's the fourth one that just popped up. Okay.
Yep, it's done.
Oh yeah, I see
Done.
it stitched.
All right. Are we ready? Is everybody ready? Do we think it's going to work?
Oh yeah, this one is true. I didn't see you playing this one. It is weird. This one's my favorite. It did the thing?
It really did the thing. So that's it, friends. Just one example of what you can do in an hour. So the thing is, now that I've spent this hour, that's fine. What I can do now is say, everything you learned today, all the stuff you ran into and how you fixed it, add this to the ComfyUI template integrity skill. So every time you overcome these problems, tell it to make itself better. Now, tomorrow, if I go to run this, it should do the thing. And I'll just push this skill tonight and you guys can play with it. If you want to play with this skill, it is on GitHub. I will add the link to the YouTube description, and I've already added it to the chat in here. Otherwise, it's on my GitHub, Purz Beats, P-U-R-Z-B-E-A-T-S, Purz Beats. You'll see it on there. It's one of the newest repos. Hermes ComfyUI helper skill or something. So let's see what it added. Oh, error. Nice. Was it able to add anything? Oh, here, let me add that link one more time in the chat if y'all want to save it. Oh, there it is. You can see there, github.com/PurzBeats, and then you can look for Hermes Agent, ComfyUI helper. You can either just drag that skill in and tell it to make its own version, or you can just put that in your .hermes folder in your computer if you know how to do that. But yeah, you can just as easily just download and drag that skill right in. So now it is looked at the file and it's adding the pitfalls that we ran into today. And this is sort of this process of updating the skills, going to work, updating the memory, going to work. Eventually, you're going to have a superpowered agent that can do all the things you want to do with Comfy. But it might not do all the things Julien wants to do with Comfy. So
everybody's different. Yeah.
Everybody different. Yeah. And,
your mileage may vary.
Indeed. But, you know, hopefully as a community, we can just help each other out. Now it's writing all kinds of new rules. That's a lot of rules. Pitfalls discovered. Oh, wow. 10. LTX crop guides fails with nested tensor. What do you do when this runs? What do you do when this happens? What do you do when this happens? This is the kind of stuff that's really helpful. Yes. So Francisco asked, is it useful to give the skills to Claude also? Yes. Claude can look at this skill and turn it into a Claude skill. That's easy. These skills are somewhat interchangeable between the agent harnesses, which is really great.
They contain like instructions. So
yeah, and they're all basically doing the same thing, which is different entry points, different models, different things. So yeah, try it with LM Studio if you want to run this stuff locally. Try it with the new subscription if you want to just use Quen 3.6 and just really hammer it, see what you can do with it, and then you can go forth with Claude or Codex if you want a bigger model, you want to do some bigger stuff. The true power of this really comes from deciding what you need from Comfy or whatever you're using and what you can just make with tool calls. You know, don't forget that these tools, they have access to FFmpeg, which is basically anything you need to do with a video, you can do with FFmpeg. They have access to PIL, Python Image Library, PIL. That can do anything you need to do with an image. You need to crop an image, you need to do this, you need to do that. You need to make a grid of images. You need to make a composition of images into a page. You can even draw on a napkin what you want the composition to be, show it to the agent, say, you know, use PIL, make this thing. Nice part about that is it just uses your computer. It just uses
to do the thing.
Python and stuff that you don't have to pay APIs or use services to do this stuff. You can do it all locally. And the real power there is then you don't have to find some dumb workaround method to do something really hard in Comfy when you can just do a tool call and do a PIL command, especially stuff like making grids of images out of a folder. Like Python's just way faster at that. And having an agent be the intermediary between you and having to write some 8-line cryptic string to make the thing work is a absolute time saver, game changer, all the adjectives. So yeah, my main takeaway from all this is don't expect the agent to make the art for you. Don't expect the agent to make the decisions for you. And sometimes don't even expect the agent to work, which is not the worst thing in the world because we're both learning. And then everything you learn, all the pitfalls you overcome, have it teach itself how to not have those problems anymore. Mm-hmm. And eventually we'll all have skills that are powerful and able to like slide around all these issues with agility. And then we can mash them all together into a supermodel. So yeah, keep working, keep making. And please feel free to contribute to the repo. If you're coming up with skills that are killing it. Just add it to the repo and add a pull request or make your own. Send me a link. Have some fun. I want to see what you guys make. I was hoping we get more people telling us what their local setups and things like that are, but there's an entire world of local models and like obliterated models and all kinds of crazy stuff that will open up all kinds of new avenues and workflows and things like that. So it's a very exciting place, very exciting time. But yeah, don't expect the world, and you'll low expectations and just be happy when you get cool stuff, man. Enjoy the wonder. We're in a special time right now. Everyone wants everything to go faster and work harder and be better, but just take a minute and look at what we have. It's insane. That's all, friends. We'll see you next week. We're going to play with some local comfy, some cloud comfy, all the fun stuff. Check out all the new toys. And we'll keep checking in on these agents as things get better. And then when the comfy MCP is in a place that we can use it even better, we'll be on that too. So yeah, enjoy, everybody. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick was using these agents to write this software, write these interfaces, is a really cool way to learn how to do web development and build apps with using like Comfy as the backend to do the processing. You can do all this stuff on your local machine. So it's really a way to just kickstart your ability to just ship apps or ship concepts or take something from zero to like a finished product you can play with your friends. We're at that point. This is the time. You ever wanted to learn this kind of stuff? Like, it's never been easier, and it's never going to be harder.
Well said, Purz.
It's crazy, right?
Well,
thanks, everybody.
Poetic.
Much love. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Julien.
You're welcome. See you. Thanks, Purz.